Hey everyone, my name is Kim and I am your over 50 makeup teacher, and I jumped on live because we're going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about skincare, which is it's a very personal thing, skincare. Like, what does that mean to you? And once you have determined what it means to you, then you determine what products that you need skincare wise. The other thing we're going to talk about is brush technique, and also just brushes in general when it comes to makeup, because we want this desired look sometimes, but yet we don't have the right tools for the job. My husband is an auto mechanic. He has been a mechanic for years, and he is very adamant about having the right tool for the job. And that's the same thing with makeup. So you can buy a certain product and then you're like, but this isn't giving me the results that you have. But it really just isn't the makeup necessarily, but maybe the brush and your application method is all that needs changed. And truly, the brushes can be an investment, but they also make or break your makeup game. So let's talk about skincare first. So my journey with skincare looks something like this. I found a cleanser at the drugstore, I washed my face, and then I went to bed. Now, I am happy to say that I religiously wash my face before bed, okay? And we're talking about coming up to, like, I'm 54, so we're talking about for 50 years. That was like my thing. And then, I would rub a moisturizer or whatever, hand cream, whatever I could find literally on my face because it was feeling so stiff. Once I adopted a skincare routine, which basically to me, here's what I wanted. I wanted my skin less dry. I wanted my skin to look healthy. And as we get older, our skin just doesn't look healthy. Give me a heart if you agree with that. Like, you can totally, it doesn't mean that you're not healthy, but that your skin is lacking something. And knowing what those things are is pretty powerful. It doesn't mean that you have to spend a boatload of money. So when I'm saying that skincare is very personal, it truly is. It has a lot to do with, well, your skin has a lot to do with genetics. It has a lot to do with what you're feeding your body. Okay, of course. But it also has a lot to do with what you're putting on your skin. So please take a second and pause with me and listen to some of the things that we're going to talk about today. And this is not going to be long and drawn out. This is going to be a very quick, sweet live today. I want to keep this within the 20-minute, 30-minute range. So we're going to talk about some very key things. First and foremost, you need to be cleansing your skin, okay? Cleansing with something that is more on the gentle side for mature skin, okay? I love an oil cleanser, okay? That's what this is. This is, I found Korean skincare. I don't have anything on my skin right now except for I put eye primer on and I put mascara on, but nothing is on my skin since I found this Korean these Korean skincare products. Anyway, this is an oil cleanser. When you cleanse your skin, are you cleansing for 90 seconds? Are you? Or are you just like throwing it on and like moving it around? Getting the blood flowing in your face and in your skin and in your neck, that's really important. That's going to bring color back to your face. So I love an oil cleanser. It doesn't matter whether your skin is oily. This particular one, and it's lasting me forever. Like, I've had this for a month and a half and I'm just under halfway through, but this is like around the $35 range. Okay. I also, before that, I used this oil cleanser. This one was by One Love Organics. This one is somewhere closer to $70. Okay. So, and I love this too. This is the Korean skincare. It's called Incel Derm, and all you have to do if you're interested in knowing a little bit more about the Korean skincare, just comment K, like in Kim Skin, and the links will come to you. But there's an average price point of about $35 for these. So, and it's cosmeceutical skincare, so it's awesome. So cleansing, that's number one, okay? Have to have a cleansing routine. And make sure it's KSKIN, not just the letter K, but K and then skin, SKIN. All right. So when we think of cleanse, then we want to think of hydrate. Like, what's that going to look like for you? Hydration can come in the form of a hydrating spray. It can come in the form of a hyaluronic acid. All right. So hyaluronic acid is, it is something that is within our own skin, like our bodies produce it. So it's not a chemical, but what it does is it helps to retain the moisture. The molecular structure of it is that it penetrates deep into the skin and helps to hold the moisture in. So cleansing, hydrating, okay, and then protecting. And what does protecting look like? Well, that probably looks like a moisturizer. And again, when you're thinking about a moisturizer, you want to be thinking about something that, again, is going to continue to hydrate. Most of the time, even if you have oily skin, your skin can still be dehydrated, which then causes it to produce more oil. Okay, so water with electrolytes, that's something you can be feeding your body. Okay, I used to never drink water with electrolytes in it, and I thought because I was drinking, I was still hydrating. Not the case, especially going through menopause and my night sweats and all of the hot flashes. I need to be drinking more and more. So just make sure that you are feeding your body as well. So let me just really quickly talk about some products that I feel like are key products, and I'm going to use my Korean skincare by a company called Rimon. Brand new to the United States. It's taking it by storm, the #1 skincare in Korea right now. That's what's given me this. Okay, I'm 54, no injections, no Botox, no plastic surgery, nothing like that. Okay, it's just this. And I can tell you that my skin was not always like this. All right. The electrolytes that I use are by a company called LMNT. It's the letters LMNT. You can go to my Amazon storefront if you go to my profile, and you can find, I've linked them there. Or go to the company, go to the website. So a couple of the things that I absolutely love from this skincare line. Second thing, which is part of the Hydrate, this is a Viaton oil mist. So it has 2 phases. It has a water phase and an oil phase. I'm shaking it up because if you sit there and watch it, it will separate. Okay, so the water phase, which is one of the, I know, isn't that crazy? In my skin in just 2 months. It's so crazy. The oil phase ends up helping, especially just the feeling, the oil phase, you can just see it. And the water phase helps with the hydrating, okay? It also has these 2, there's multiple unique ingredients in this particular line. It is by a company called Rimon, and if you comment the letter K and KSKIN, I will send you all of the stuff that you need, including a video of me telling you a little bit more about it, okay? So, but my point in saying that is that it has this Jeju Energy Lava Water, which is, they have a patent on, so you're not going to find it in any other Korean skincare, K-beauty, any other skincare. And the other thing is the giant Byungpool plant, which these two natural ingredients are patented by Rimon. And the energy lava water is found in the bedrock of, it's been there for 4,000 years, maybe more than that. And they extracted some. They ended up watering the Byungpool, which you might hear Byungpool in a lot of K-beauty stuff. But the giant Byungpool is cultured and right in Korea, in South Korea, for Rimon. So they use the entire plant, the natural part of the plant, in all of their ingredients. So you're getting the benefits there. Koreans believe in nourishing the skin, not treating the skin. that's kind of what we've been taught, is let's put a Band-Aid on it and fix it instead of getting to the root of the problem. What you see happening to my skin for the first 22 days was the EX line, and that's this basically. Okay, there were 8 steps roughly. There's also an exfoliating step I didn't do all of the time, but that's what gave me these results. They have a new line that is for 55 and older called the Radiosome 100 line, and I've since switched to that. All right, so if you take care of those 3 areas, cleanse, hydrate, protect, the next time you go to the store, or the next time you're online and you're searching for good, clean, because I believe that this is the cleanest skincare that exists, okay? All natural. Make sure that you're taking care of each one of those areas if you don't currently have a current skincare routine, okay? That was me. Find some soap and put some hand lotion on your face for moisturization. Okay, some of you might be cringing, but that is just where lack of knowledge comes in. And once you are more knowledgeable about a topic, or once you start to notice things happening and you want to fix them, then you become more knowledgeable. I am a retired educator from public school system for 25 years. In June, I will be retired for 1 full year. So I am a teacher by heart. I'm also a lifelong learner. So when I am interested in something, I dive deep in and then I try to teach others about it. So if you don't currently follow me, you might want to make sure that you click follow, because I teach a lot of things about beauty, especially for those of us in midlife and menopause and perimenopause and postmenopause that just have stuff happening. And we're like, what's happening? And how do I deal with this? My philosophy is this: I just want to look as beautiful as I can at my current age, like my best self, okay? I'm not trying to look 20. I'm not trying to look 30. I'm just trying to look like me, okay? Do I receive compensation for purchases made with Korean products? Any company that offers me an opportunity to be able to reap the benefits of offering or sharing the products knows first and foremost that I will try the products first and try them for a very length of period of time before I promote them. So the short answer to your question is yes. But the longer answer is you're never going to see me promote something that I don't believe in, okay? So there's that. I want to show you now, I want to jump into brush technique, okay? So when we're talking about makeup in general, I am a cream makeup person, okay? I love cream products. The reason being is because they don't dry down. They move with the skin. Our skin, as we get older, like I mentioned, is very, very dry. So we want to make sure that we're finding products that as we move our face are not going to be settling in our fine lines and texture. Yes, that's what happens as we get older. It's a very natural transformation. Sometimes you can't change it, and that's okay. You just embrace it, figure out what you're going to do to make yourself look like your most beautiful self at that age, and move on. And for me, brush technique has played a huge role in how I have transcended my look. I love a very natural makeup look. That's just who I am. Okay, I want to still look like me, but yet a better version of myself, especially like when if I'm in a dressy situation, I'm dinner out, a date, an event, okay? I definitely like to go full on, with makeup, but I still want to look like me. And then there are the days where I just want a little something to be just polished, maybe even out my skin tone. Again, a lot of that comes with brush technique. So what I've done is I pulled some of my favorite brushes. All right, I am a makeup artist for a company called Saint, but this goes for Saint products or not, whatever products it is that you love. We're not going to be talking about specific brand products. We're going to be talking about the way that brushes are designed today, okay? So if you'll find that here for me is that I'm going to use certain products, but I'm going to be talking in generalities so that you can use the products that you currently have in your bathroom, under your bathroom sink, in your beauty drawer, by your makeup station, or wherever and whatever you can afford. I will be happy to share the things that I am using as well, though. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about applying a foundation. Okay, foundation brushes can look all different ways, and the technique that you use to apply foundation will change the look that you're going for, okay? So it really depends on what look you're going for. I'm going to go ahead and use this brush right here. This has somewhat, it's kind of fluffy, but it's somewhat dense, okay? Let me show you the opposite, all right? This one, in comparison, is fluffy, but it is not dense, okay? It's very light and airy. This one, because it's more dense, is going to give me fuller coverage. And then we have one that's even denser yet, okay? It's not even really moving. That's the fullest coverage. So when you're thinking about what kind of coverage you want, then the brush makes a difference, all right? But if you're using creams, you can get whatever coverage you want because it's buildable. And that's another reason that I love cream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two different ways that you can apply using a brush that's similar to this. This is, by the way, because I know I'll get somebody asking, this is called the 3D brush by Saint. It's double-ended, so it's like getting two brushes for one. So I'm going to dab into my main highlight. And that's one thing that you have to understand about cream makeup is you don't need very much at all. All right, I'm going to dab in. If I want fuller coverage with a brush that's like this, I am going to more or less stipple the makeup in, okay? So I'm getting the same amount of product on my brush, and let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you so that you can see. All right, stippling is going to give me fuller coverage. Stipple, press it in, and I love the fact that with creams, it's like warming up to my skin. So it kind of melts in and still looks like skin. All right, so now I'm just gonna take the same brush, okay? It's still that denser end. I'm gonna dab in to my main highlight, and this time I'm going to feather the makeup in. Okay, this is a lighter coverage. This is how I apply my makeup because I like a lighter coverage. I refer to it as feathering. Again, it's still warming up to my skin, but now I've used a whole lot less product than I did over here. I'm trying to see if you guys can... but there is more coverage here. You can still see, I'd like to say that they're freckles, but they're age spots. You can still see them. Here they are more covered, right? Clean my brushes once a week with just, we have, Saint has like a really great spray brush cleanser. I use that once a week or deep cleaning them about every 6 weeks. Yeah, clean your brushes for sure. All right. Now we're going to take a look at another type of brush. We're going to take a look at a brush that looks like this, okay? So based off of what I just told you, this is more light coverage, okay? This is really fluffy end. This end is smaller and dense. this is going to cover smaller areas. It's dense, so places that you need to get in, and make sure that there is a good bit of coverage and that you can pat it out. That would be a brush like this one. This one's called the blend brush. This is a really great one too that I will use sometimes for really light coverage as well. And I'm doing the feathering motion here. I like to go back in, grab product, and feather. Now, we didn't talk about prepping your face, but for me, I don't use a primer anymore. I'm proud of that because I have my skin in really good shape. And when your skin is in really good shape, you don't need a primer. But I will prep it with sunscreen, okay? So if you comment sunscreen, you can get the link to the sunscreen. I did put it on this morning, okay? I forgot to mention that. So I didn't have any makeup on, but I did have this after my skincare along with my mascara. All right, so hopefully you're learning a little bit. Yeah, that's the blend brush. And please let me know if you have any questions. We'll address them as they come up. When I know what your concerns are, then it helps me to be able to direct you guys further in this little demo tutorial. All right, since I like a light coverage, I'm gonna go ahead and feather all of that makeup on back that I had put there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and we're gonna talk a little bit, well, let's go ahead and use this end and let me show you what an end, that a small end like this is gonna do. So I use an accent highlight. This would be one that is a little bit lighter or more like your concealer. So I like to apply my concealer actually with my finger, but this tutorial is for brushes, so I'm gonna show you how I'm going to use it to apply. A moisturizer with dry skin. Any kind of moisturizer that you know that has like peptides in it, maybe something with honey. I use the active cream, which is really great, and it's 87% water. So you know you're getting it. I always color correct beforehand. But again, my under eye darkness has subsided since I got control of my skincare. It's the craziest thing ever, okay? So, but I typically do. And I use a color like this to color correct underneath of my eyes. So this is by Amazing Cosmetics. If you let me know that you're interested in a color corrector, they're actually doing a giveaway with me. I've been using this for about a year. It's the under eye primer and the color corrector duo. They discounted it by $10 if you buy the duo, and they're letting me give one of these away starting tomorrow. So just let me know if you want the information and I will send that to you. But guys, can you see I'm just feathering that in? Da-da-da, da-da-da. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take that same color and I'm gonna pull it right down my nose. And again, this is somewhat dense. I am using very little product. All right. So now let's talk about something like a contour. Like what would you use for a contour? Well, you want something that is not going to be wide, because for contour, you want it to cover a very small area and then you want to be able to spread it out as you want, right? You absolutely can use a highlighter on, or an illuminator. Yeah, we call these highlights, but an illuminator on mature skin, I highly recommend it, but in cream form, not in powder form. And I'll show you where we can put that. This is the detail brush, but let's take a look at the design of it. Okay, it's flat on top, all right, and it is dense. All right, these bristles don't flop back and forth. But the contour is a little stiffer. If you're going to use a cream contour, it's a little stiffer. It's meant to be stiff because we don't want it moving. So I'm going to dab in very little product, and I'm going to find my cheekbone. And then I'm going to press this in. Just like that, okay? We don't need a bunch. The intent of contour is just to give us a shadow. You don't want to look at somebody and say, oh, she's wearing contour. You want to look and say, look at her cheekbones, right? So we want to emphasize the things on our face that we want emphasized, and we want to de-emphasize the things on our face that we don't want glaring right at us. All right, so I'm going to take this brush, and now I can flick in this upward motion. So this is the detail brush. But again, if you have a brush that's similar to this, this would be great for contour. All right. And I usually stop right about the corner of my eye. So it's just meant to add a shadow. We'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm so glad that you're learning. That's the goal always with me, is to share maybe just a little something that you didn't know. All right. I'd love to know where you guys are watching from also. Okay, so this is contour, cheekbones, something that's a little bit more dense. I could even use this to draw that little line on and then flick up. Okay, sometimes when we go in with brushes or even with our makeup in general, it's almost like a wrestling match. And we're like, just throwing it all on. It's like it's a race. And there is no race. I mean, okay, I get it. If you're in a hurry to get to work, that's one thing. But choose your fast, okay? Getting the product on your face, yeah, that can be fast. Blending the product, give it just a couple extra minutes, because that can make the entire difference in your look altogether. All right, so now let's go ahead and talk a little bit. Let's talk bronzer. All right, this is a great bronzer brush, because bronzer is meant to just add warmth. It is not meant to cover every ounce of your face and make you look orange. It is meant to give you color and warmth. There are different shades of bronzer. They all do not have to be orange. There are cooler shades of bronzer. You find something that works best for you. I'm going to use a color called Bella by Saint. It looks like this. Now, for me, what I like to do, because you can pair these up beside each other, I have this, like, it's a salmony pink color that I use a lot. You can tell I use it to color correct. So if you don't have a salmon pink color in your makeup stash, that might be in the form of a lipstick, you can totally use it to color correct. But I put it in my palette because I built this palette for me. I would be happy to build you a palette free of charge, just to give you the colors that are right for you. All you've got to do is comment color match. But I'm going in with this brush, and I'm going to dab into my bronzer. And guess what? I don't care if I pick up some of this salmon, because this color is really great for color correcting anything with blue in it. Guess what has blue in it? Age spots, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and lightly feather that in. I can contour my jaw. Yeah, I'm definitely a proponent of contouring the jaw, for sure. Especially if you have jowls, especially if you have a double chin. Okay, it is good on sensitive skin. It only has 11 ingredients in this. Okay, so you guys can just see the difference in adding warmth and no warmth. Okay, not everybody wants a bronzer. Some people are scared of them. And sometimes they get a bad rap because of us being able to see those who aren't using a bronzer appropriately. Like they're making themselves all orange, okay? I get it. But bronzer can be very becoming on older skin, okay? I should say more mature, more sophisticated. It is coming to the UK. Saint is coming to the UK. All right, so, and it's fun because you can partner up your compact however you want. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use a bronzer along my jawline and blend down onto my neck. Okay, let's talk about different, so let's take a look at this brush. All right, this is a flat brush. And then it has a smaller pointy end. Well, we can use it to contour our nose, which I'm gonna do. I can use it as with an eyeshadow, as an eyeliner. I could take a glittery eyeshadow or a shimmer and pat this on over top of my eyeshadow primer. I can use it on my lips. Brushes like this are so versatile. Same with this one. If I want a thinner line, I can use this to line my lips. I can also use it to line my upper lash line, to make myself a wing. Think about when you go to get brushes, what is your intent? Or before you go get brushes, what do I want to do? And then that's how you determine which brush it is that's going to work best for you. You can even use this little brush. Here's a little trickaroo. I'm going to take this small brush, the small end. I'm going to dip it into my accent highlight, which is the one that I used in the corner of my eye. And see my little nasolabial folds here? I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it right in there. Can you guys see what happened already? That's because the shadow is what's accentuating my nasolabial fold. So if I lighten the shadow, thank you. Oh my gosh, you got your jewelry from the Blue-Eyed Horse. It is the best place ever. Use code Kim10 if you do, just because she, not for me, but she gives you guys a discount. Because I ask her to help my people out, please. Okay, guys, so again, what do you want to happen? I want to diminish my nasolabial folds. Okay, well then you're gonna need a small brush for that. And you're gonna need the right color, which I just used my concealer color. All right, now I'm gonna use the flat edge. Let's learn how to contour your nose, shall we? All right, so I'm gonna take that flat edge, I'm gonna dip it into my contour, okay? And now I'm gonna follow this shadow, and you guys can see the shadow. I actually highlighted right down the middle of my nose, so the contour is gonna go on each side of that. This is for the look of slimming the nose, right? We want to slim the nose, at least I do. If you have a skinny nose, then you will want to take this a little bit wider. So I'm gonna try and keep this line as close together as I can. Then I'm gonna kind of pinch it off here at the bottom. And I'm gonna kind of make a little exclamation point, all right? Started pouring down the rain here. This is the same contour I used on my face. Again, with cream, you have a lot of flexibility. Like I don't have to go in as bold as I did here. So, and you actually wouldn't want to. You would want to go in really light. This is meant just to be a shadow. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that accent highlight and run it right down, like the little exclamation point. Add just a little bit more. And now what we're gonna do is, let me see, I'll just find one of these brushes. My intention is to blend this without blending it all the way out. So I wanna tap it. Tap, tap, And if it comes right down to it, I like to use my finger simply because my finger's warm and this is warm. My face is warm. So we just slim the nose down just a little bit. Okay, it's that easy. Let's go ahead and use that same brush. And let's use the smaller end and let's line my lips. What do I want to use? I'll use my contour to line my lips too. And I really like to stick to this area right here. From here to here. I avoid the corners of my mouth because they're starting to turn down. Look. If I go clear out there, it's going to accentuate it and make me look frowny. So I stick to the middle only. And then right here on this vermilion border, you guys, we all have this tiny little white line on the outside of our natural lip line. That's the vermilion border. That's where you line, okay? And I'm not a huge fan of overlining. Does that make sense? Like, it's obvious that you overlined. I will line on that vermilion border with a little bit of a darker color, just like 1 or 2 shades darker than my natural lip color. And even with this contour, I'm just going to tap it out. And then I can flip my brush over and let's go ahead and use it. Let's go ahead and use it to apply my lip color. Okay, again, I love a natural look. I love up close makeup. That's a great question. Here's what I've been using to treat my lips. Again, it is called the Multi-Stick Balm. It is by the Korean beauty Rimmon. It has, so I can use it in multiple places. I use it to hydrate underneath of my eyes. I use it to hydrate my nasolabial folds, my 11s, my lips. It's an all-purpose. I love it. If you comment balm, I'll get you the link to that. And this is like around $30, and this is a stick. It lasts forever. So good. So good. All right. Now let's talk about blush. What can we use? What kind of brush would you want to use for blush? Well, your blush is meant to give you color that helps you to look healthy, right? It is not meant to be this intense color that makes you look older. Years ago in Hollywood, they would place a dark color on the apples of women's cheeks in order to make them look older. And so placing a lighter color there is really helpful and gives you a more youthful look, but nothing too dark. So that big blush, and this is called the blush and bronzer brush. I used it for my bronzer. I'm going to flip it over. This is a more dense end. You could also use this one for blush. You could use this one for blush. You could use this one for blush. You could apply your blush with your finger. Cream blushes are so forgiving, so you decide how much you want to add. So I'm going to go in with the same color that's on my lips. It's called Hollywood. It has it's pink with a little gold fleck in it. And then I'm going to tap it. I kind of use this 3-finger method right here from my nose over, which ends up being about the corner of my eye. I like being able to see color from the front. You know, we see a lot of these videos where it says, you know, if you want more lift when you're mature, then you need to place it from the corner of your eye back. You can do an ombre look, but there is something about looking healthy and being able to see just a little bit of color from the front. Nothing drastic. Which looks dark to you? The makeup or the blush, okay? So if this seems dark to you, you can even go lighter than this for sure. All right, all this is just evening out my skin tone and giving my face some life. All right, let's go in with, let's talk a little bit about eyeshadows. So an eyeshadow brush looks like this. Do you think this is dark on my face, or you think it was dark in the tin? Because in the tin, it does look dark, definitely. But on my face, it looks natural, right? So for eyeshadow, I recommend you have two different brushes handy. One that's fluffy and one that's a little bit more dense. This one is actually called the eyeshadow brush. It's a great name for it because I use it for eyeshadows. But the reason being is because you want to make sure that this one is going to be for light coverage and great for transitions, great to cover a lot of area. This one is going to be for more meticulous places, areas that you're going to have to maybe pat some product in. As our eyes get crepey, you have to pat product in. Yeah, because if you're swiping a lot, the crepiness, all it does is just move the skin back and forth. Give me a heart if you know what that feeling is like. It's like you're shifting all of your eyelid skin from the left to the right, okay? So what I'm going to show you is we're going to use one color. I'll even give you this color. This is going to be the shade of the month for Saint. It's dark, okay? It's dark. It's called Eternal. It's a gorgeous color for any eye color, but if you have blue eyes or green eyes, it's especially going to make your eyes pop. But you can wear it with any eyeshadow or any eye color. So this is Eternal. I'm going to use the fluffy end of the brush. What I have already put on my eyes was an eyeshadow primer. Okay, so you can see how I've evened out the canvas on my eyelids, right? Typically my eyelids are really veiny. They can be red and green on any given moment. Using a primer to prep my eyes, or I can just wear mascara and that primer and I can get out the door, okay? I'm gonna use Eternal. This goes on sale on June 1st by Saint. And you can just let me know if you want the link, I'll send it to you. But again, it doesn't go on sale until June 1st, which is in a couple days, God. Okay, big fluffy end. I'm going to dab into, and I'm picking up very little product because I'm not packing this in. This is going to be my transition shade. I'm going to keep my eyes open and I am going to deposit the color where I want it, but only in its lightest form. And that's what a fluffy brush does. You guys saw how dang dark that was in the tin, but look at it on my eyes. It's only because the brush is fluffy and it's only depositing what I want on my eyes. Could I go darker with this? Absolutely. But when you have highly pigmented eyeshadows, you don't need a lot of product. Okay, just that simple. Let's do it again over here. I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm going in right above my pupil, not in my crease, because if I put it in my crease, the color is just going to get lost somewhere in the abyss because I have deep set eyes. And if you have hooded eyes, that's your issue too, is that if you put your color right in the crease, well, the color is just going to get lost in the crease. So you want to make sure your eyes are open and you're kind of creating this new depth above your crease. And then you can kind of sweep it wherever it is that you need to sweep it. And blend until your little heart's desired. But blending on mature eyes is really important because, again, the crepiness traps color in certain places, so you're going to get like darkness one place and not another. So having a nice clean brush and blending is going to give you the color or the look that you're going for. All right, so I'm just going to use this one color again to show you how we can deepen and add depth and dimension with one color of eyeshadow. But the magic comes in the brush. So we're going to flip it over to the dense end. I'm going to grab just a little bit of product, not even any more than I had before. Okay, so it's not the amount of product, it's the brush that's helping me to be able to pack the product where I want it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a little circle right here on the outer corner of my eye, because this is where you build the depth right here. Your darkest color on this outer corner. And I'm going to keep doing this, even if I have to do some pressing to pack the color in, it's totally okay. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of feather that inward. Something in my eyeball. So can you see what happened here? I used the same color, but yet I added definition right here to the outer corner. Y'all can do this, okay? We just used one color. So find a dark color, get yourself the right brushes, and do this little trick. We're going to make another circle. Circle, circle, circle. Circle, circle. Pat if you need to, okay? The crepiness is different on everybody's eyes. It might not look the best at the beginning, but you're going to blend it, okay? You're going to blend it. And that primer is going to help. What I did just now was I flipped the brush over because I'm going to blend it with this end. Another good reason to have a fluffy brush. Just a rule of thumb, wherever the tail of your brow is, you don't want your eyeshadow falling below that. It's just going to drag your eye down. So maybe, just maybe, you'll be interested in grabbing this color Eternal. You can even build your, you can build an eyeshadow compact if you want. Yeah, you can build an eyeshadow compact if you want. All right, now let's do this. Let's take that brush that I used for my lip liner and to contour my nose, and let's use it for eyeliner. Okay, so if I want maybe a wider line, I can take a little bit of setting spray, spray it on the end of my brush, dabby dab dab right inside of my eyeshadow. And now we're just going to use that as eyeliner. What I love about using eyeshadow is it's a softer look. I grew up in the 80s with black eyeliner, and I know that sometimes we love our black eyeliner, but it can make us look harsh and it can make us look older. Okay, so just having a softer eyeliner, which can come in the form of your eyeshadow, it makes it all better. All right, let's talk illuminator really quickly. I had a question about that. Illuminator gives you this extra little glow. That's what it looks like. It is not meant to be seen on the face, meaning like, oh, I can't see this illuminator. Okay, good. It's meant to be, oh, she really looks radiant. She has this reflection, that she has this little sparkle that continues to radiate off of her cheekbones, which is where I'm going to put it. But I stay away from all of the busy wrinkles right here, and I just put it kind of high on my cheekbones. You can add it a little bit on your nose. You can add it a little bit on your lip. You can add it wherever you want. You can add it underneath your brow. Okay, but it's not I get a lot of questions about, Kim, you recommended an illuminator for me, but I can't see it. Okay, then. That's what it's meant to be. It's just a little something that the light will pick up every now and then. The sunshine will bounce off of it. It gives you that luminescence. You're standing in the coffee shop and there's somebody looking at you. They're like, there's something that really looks beautiful about that's like the illuminator. That's the whole glowy skin business. That's the dewy look that cream products give you. It's healthy looking. Would you agree with me? So hopefully you have learned a little bit about skincare, because skincare is very personal and what it is that you need. If you're interested in learning more, comment KSKIN. I'll send you off the links. I'll send you off a little video. And then if you're interested in a color match so that you can build your palette to fit your budget or your needs, because makeup is very personal too, I'll help you with that. The color match is free of charge. And hopefully you picked up a few tips. Go find some good brushes. If you have great products, but you're still not getting the looks that you're going for, then the brush might be the little investment that you need to make. Okay? These brushes are anywhere between $21 and $40. Okay? But they're double-ended, so it's like getting 2 for 1. $20 a piece for a great brush that's made for cream. I feel like that's a good deal. Okay? Brushes can be expensive. All right, same with good skincare. The skincare, the average price is about $35 per item for cosmeceutical skincare. That's good, okay? If you're interested in, or if you have any more questions, just reach out, ask away. Make sure you click follow. I'd love for you to share this live video with your friends if you've had this discussion about brushes or makeup, or share it with somebody that you think could benefit from hearing it. My name is Kim. I'm your over 50 makeup teacher. Thank you for joining me.